It's a cool night. The moon is high and several crickets pull on their harps. A young woman sits near an open window, enjoying the air as she reads by the light of a lantern. She turns the page with excitement in her eyes. The book is just beginning, and she's in love with every page so far. A cold gust of wind rushes into her room, playing with the pages and dimming the lantern. Her hand holds the book tightly. She looks out at the lunar glow on the tops of other homes and on the trees. Despite the wind, the trees are oddly calm, and the breeze slows as she drinks in the moment. She begins closing the window when she hears a voice, a whisper from below. "Emily, wait! Hold on a second." Her heart jumps and a small scream escapes her mouth before she realizes who it is. "Robert, my lord, you scared the dickens out of me. What are you doing here at a time like this?" "I believe I had told you not to seek me out," she says, looking down at the face of a young man hanging onto the side of her father's home, climbing up to the window. "I know you did, but listen, Emily, I need to talk to you. Just please give me one moment," he says as he continues pulling himself up. "No, Robert, we're done. My father would have me lashed if he knew about us. He'd certainly do worse to you." "Well, what about us? I mean, what do you want, Em? Can't you think about us instead of your father? For once? What about what we want?" His hands reaching closer to the window, the moon reflecting off his eyes. "What I want? I told you what I want, and don't call me Em anymore. We had fun, but... Oh, come on, don't lie to yourself because your father told you what to think. You can't live your whole life doing everything he says. Is that how you want to live? What about what you told me? My heart can't beat without you, Em. I told you that because I felt it in the moment. Why can't you leave a good memory as just that?" Her gaze meets his, and she pauses, seeing something in his eyes, something that's subtle, easy to miss, but she recognizes it. And she breathes a little faster, filling with fear. "Robert, if you come any closer, I will scream." The man stops, the bottom of the window just in reach. He holds his eyes on hers for a second, his expression cold and determined. The softness of his voice completely gone when he says, "I don't believe you want your parents involved in what's about to happen, Emily." What are you saying?" He holds a single finger over his lips and reaches up to the window. Emily screams and slams it on his hand. Robert curses in pain, reflexively, pulling his hand back. She closes it, locks it, as she loudly calls for her father and retreats into the house. The glass shatters behind her. The lantern falls and splashes fire onto the floor, the drapes. She's running, footfalls on broken glass behind her, moving fast. Something crashes downstairs. Heavy stomps rush into the house, rush up the stairs. She reaches her parents' room, throwing open the door. Turning, she sees those eyes rushing down the dark hallway. She shuts the door just as the weight of the body crashes into it. Her feet dig into the floor as she tries to hold the door closed. Her father exclaims with surprise, his face confused as he casts off the blanket. What's going on? Who is that now? Her mother shouts questions. Emily tries to explain, tears in her eyes, as another slam against the door knocks her unsteady. A drawer opens, and her father draws a revolver from a holster. Another slam against the door. Emily falls to the ground, and it flies wide. The empty cylinder of the revolver is cracked open. Men rush into the room, the glow of fire behind them. A single bullet is dropped into the gun. Screams are cut off as men grab Emily and then her mother. The cylinder of the revolver closes just as an elbow cracks into the side of her father's head. A hand rips the gun from his as he is brought to the ground. A deep and desperate breath draws in the air as a man suddenly sits up, dirty and thirsty, in bushes and covered in mosquitoes. He looks around, wondering what smells so bad before raising an arm and realizing it's himself. How'd I get here? He thinks to himself. A glass bottle falls from between his legs, landing near a metal flask with a hole in it. Damn. That one lasted a long time. A frown crosses his face as he lifts the empty bottle and confirms it is in fact empty. Something bright catches the corner of his eye. Something orange? A fire? He turns and sees the tongues of flame reaching up from the second-story windows of a house not too far away. Just as he begins to stand up, he hears a loud shuffling and whispering. Slowly, he lowers back down, then peers through the leaves of the bush, quietly shooing away mosquitoes. There's a covered wagon being loaded with something heavy. Is that Greg Levine? A man appearing to be tied up is brought to the back of the wagon. The canvas is peeled aside. A dull green glows from within, and the man is set inside. A few others, sounding angry, argue with one another as they prepare to leave. Something small and particularly nasty crawls its way into the leg of his pants. Something with a lot of legs itself. Without thinking, he smacks his pants, just a little too loud. The men around the wagon stop, looking around with intensity, the moon reflecting off what looks to be revolvers. Half of the thing in his pants continues moving. He holds still, though, gritting his few remaining teeth. Something else creeps near him. Leaves move with a slight shadow, but there isn't a sound. A long minute later, the men continue preparing their wagon. His eyes hold on to the shadow moving near him as he quietly presses his hand onto the other half of the insect in his pants, feeling a slow squish. The shadow sits still, its shape now obvious. A coyote, clearly looking at the same men. Its ears held back, its posture low and deliberate. He slowly reaches for his dull knife, sliding it from a small leather sheath. The canine pays him no mind. Suddenly, the horses begin drawing the wagon away, and the coyote's teeth show. A low grumble emanates from its throat, its eyes locked onto the wagon. The orange glow is much brighter than it was. He looks over and sees the house now consumed in fire. The warmth almost touches him, even as far back as he is. What did I just see? Turning back to the coyote, it's looking at the fire too. It almost looks sad, he thinks. With a sense of calm, it turns toward him and cranes its head to the side, then darts away into the brush, the trees, and toward the wagon. Fire! Fire, everyone! There's fire! Good Lord, get some water on it! Is anyone inside? The furious clack of a typewriter fills the smoky office area of the Commission of Preternatural and Metaphysical Phenomena. Heidi Ripplinger takes a long drag from the cigarette dangling in her mouth. She pauses her typing a moment to tap the ash into a mostly full tray, then wipes the sweat from her brow. Ricardo, behind her, flips from page to page, taking notes with a pencil in one of several notebooks on his desk. Toward the front of the office sits Ajaya, with her boots kicked up onto another chair and her hands filing a piece of metal. A trail of cherry-scented tobacco rises from her pipe.
Ajaya, I appreciate your company, but what the hell are you doing over there?
Just messing around with this here rifle, she says without looking up.
Oh, okay. Messing in what way?
Just making it more, things got potential.
Mm-hmm,
says Heidi with a curious look. Heidi knows Ajaya wants to be around people, but is focused on her project. So she chooses to let her work. Likewise, Ricardo behind her is just as enthralled in his work, researching.
Best to leave them to their work.
She stands up, stretches her back, and lights another cigarette.
Either of you two checked the mail? I know Zwarson sure didn't.
No, ma'am, that's what I pay you to do.
Ricky?
Oh, the mail? No, I haven't checked it yet. I'll grab it now, he says, putting a piece of paper between 2 pages of his book. Fearsome Creatures of the Lumberwoods, with a Few Desert and Mountain Beasts by William T. Cox. Heidi had specifically asked him to read it when he had the time.
Hopefully the kid retains the knowledge. No, that's all right. I need to stretch my legs a little anyway.
She makes her way down the stairs and out the front door. It's a hot and humid day. One of the worst she's ever felt here. Standing under the keystone of the Stag, she puffs on her cigarette, watching people wander about St. Michael Street. Several vendors call out to passerbys, occasionally wrangling in new customers. One is selling folding fans. Another sells cheap hats. Another, an elixir to prevent excessive sweating. The fans seem to be a hot commodity. Meanwhile, a small crowd is gathering around a thermostat displayed in front of a store. 103 degrees Fahrenheit, an ungodly temperature for this part of the world. Heidi walks over to the man selling the elixir. Bright blue bottles with a decorative label line the shelves of his small cart. A young couple stands listening to the salesman sell his product.
Now listen, don't think of the cost now, think of the savings later. Well, by golly, the amount of water you'd not have to drink during this accursed heat? A savings!
Well, now, that isn't something we're terribly worried about anyway. We've got a flat rate each month regardless.
Well, then, not the savings in currency, but in convenience.
Excuse me. Might I ask what this is? How it works?
My, what a question. If it were not for the necessity of my having to make a living, I'd give this recipe out to all. Unfortunately, now I must charge a small bit to recoup the losses I endure when making this fine concoction.
Well, I understand. Might I ask why you would be sweating as much as the rest of us then?
The young couple nod their heads in agreement.
Well. Any student of business understands the importance of not consuming your own product. How right to put even a measly meal on my plate if I were to drink my own elixirs, I assure you it works. Each herb and spice is harvested from a secret location known only to tribals in the South and myself. You won't find anything quite like it sold in any city.
And you spoke with these tribes? They showed you their secret remedy to the heat?
Oh, only after I gained the trust of their chieftain, a fearsome Goliath. I say he must have been at least 2 measures of even the largest of the pure stock. He recognized me as an intellectual, however, and challenged me to a duel of wits. Of course, evidenced by this here beauty in a bottle, I was the victor.
Uh-huh. I'll give you 2 dimes for the bottle.
My dear lady, such an insult. My prices are listed. They are fair and they are non-negotiable,
he says, wiping his brow of sweat and crossing his arms.
Okay.
Heidi turns and begins walking away. The young couple does the same. The vendor selling the fans has a long line and thinning inventory, while the interest in the elixirs seems absent.
Wait! For such a beautiful woman and clearly one of a strong nature, 50 cents.
2 dimes.
45.
Heidi begins walking away again.
Wait, okay. Fine.
The salesman turns back to his cart, grabbing a small bottle from the full shelf. Heidi smiles to herself before retrieving 2 dimes.
Any special instructions then?
She says as she exchanges the money for the bottle.
You pull out the cork and drink it.
He says, with all his flair evaporated and a look that reveals how he feels about her. She walks back across the street, checks on the mail on the way in. A large envelope sticks out among smaller letters and out-of-state newspapers. The envelope's return address is listed as The Northern Journal, Maine, sent by Jonathan Creedmoor. She weighs the envelope in her hand and raises an eyebrow. Oh boy. Back up the stairs, she tucks the envelope under her arm, careful not to reveal too much of it, and goes into Zworson's office, closing the door behind her. Ajaya looks up from her desk, covered in metal parts, and over to Ricardo. His eyes meet hers from just above his book. The two exchange a look and each shrug their shoulders before going back to their work. After some time, Heidi and Zworson both walk from the office. Frank glances over at Alborn's slightly cracked door and turns toward the stairs. "I'll be back," he says, with a tone more stern than typical. Heidi walks over to her desk with the mail, missing the large envelope. "Hey, everything okay?" Ricardo whispers.
Oh yeah, don't worry about it. Just numbers we had to figure out is all. Hey Ricky, you mind running this down to our friend Jameson?
She says, pulling the blue bottle from her pocket. Hubert Johnson stands in a long hallway. It expands before him. The walls are black and slick with something. His finger drags along it, but there is nothing there. It's empty. Pure absence of any substance. It is there, though. The walls and the slick blackness, they exist. A humming rhythm echoes from the end of the hallway. There is no end, though. He knows it. 2 doors appear on either side of him. He doesn't turn his head. He knows better. The ticking of clocks exclaims from behind each door. One is correct, and the other is wrong. One is sick, and the other is well. They battle each other as if swords were clashing, as if 2 great beasts were wrestling. The humming gets louder, and a 3rd door opens ahead at the end of the hallway.
But there is no end.
He thinks. The ticking stops. He blinks and suddenly is elsewhere. The smell of soup fills his nostrils. A familiar woman with twigs in her long hair pours a ladle into a bowl in front of him. It's warm and looks full of nourishment. When he reaches down for the spoon, she clears her throat and gives him a look. Wait. He looks down again and sees a reflection, but it isn't his. There's a face, or something like a face. Its details are hazy, blurry, and yet they shift and move. It's looking at him. Suddenly, a green leaf falls into the soup. Birdie looks up. Then his eyes open. The sun sneaks into the apartment from every small crack in the drapes. Birdie reaches over to the nightstand, grabbing a small leather pouch. and pulling a pair of spectacles from it. On the nightstand is a pen and paper. He begins writing his dream. When he's finished, he takes a moment to reflect on it, examining each fragment that's still there in his mind. He takes a few notes, makes a few comments, then returns the pen and paper next to a notebook. This one reads, Necroducere vore, possible translation, necro, Greek for dead. Oducere, as in conducere, Latin for to bring together. Vorari, also Latin, meaning to devour. What does Birdie do?
Birdie takes clean notes, right, as much as he can remember, and then he reads them to himself. You know, there's a long black hallway, couple doors, slick and black clocks, cacophony of clocks. You know, and then a third door coming in, and Marge and a bowl of soup. You know, but then there's a face. There's eyes. There's a leaf in my soup. Didn't even taste it. And then I'm back in the land of the living. Birdie's just going to chew on that for a while. Eventually he'll get up, go through his routine, glass of water from the basin. I don't think they had faucets in places like this back then. Maybe.
In the cities, they may have, especially like a big apartment building, like light bulbs and electricity were starting to get installed into a lot of these places too.
Good call. Yeah, he'd have a glass of water, do his morning ablutions, if you will. And yeah, what day of the week is it?
It is July 9th. And that heat wave is still present, though it seems to be starting to go away at this point.
And him and Tate got back from White Birch?
White Round.
They were out there in June.
Yeah, late June.
Late June. Okay, so it's been a good 10 days.
Yeah, about.
All right. So he's probably still kind of, feeling, there's probably some lingering soreness. How do his eyes feel?
Well, they don't hurt. They don't burn. They feel, maybe a little drier than he's accustomed to. He kind of has to blink his eyes a little harder once in a while when he notices. Well, they feel a little dry. His vision is as it was, and the glasses help. He sees very clear. And when he's not wearing them, he wishes he were.
Got it. Birdie's going to get dressed and go about his day.
Does he check the mailbox?
Every day. Except Sundays.
Except Sundays, of course. When he goes downstairs to check the mail, he finds a envelope with a familiar stamp for the Commission of Preternatural and Metaphysical Phenomena.
Like clockwork, these guys. Birdie is going to take that over to the diner.
Okay. And just in the nature of him having so we'll we've already kind of seen some of this. So he goes to the diner, orders his usual. One of the rotating waitresses that he recognizes comes up. Same as usual?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that'll be right up.
Yeah, so Birdie's going to wait until he gets his cup of coffee.
It comes. Yep. Nice white glass with some scratches.
All right, let's see what the gang's got for us today.
Tate Clay hammers a nail into the frame around his apartment's window, then stands back to admire his work. Metal bars run up and down the glass, now matching all the other windows in the apartment. He puts away the hammer and the box of nails in the closet before putting on his shoes and unlocking the door, now equipped with an extra deadbolt. Downstairs, he immediately notices an envelope sticking from the mouth of his mailbox. Grabbing it, he sees the familiar stamp of the Commission of Preternatural and Metaphysical Phenomena.
Tate grabs the envelope and heads upstairs to his apartment. He'll take a seat on one of his dining room chairs with two objects in front of him. One of them being the letter, and the other one being this bottle of funny blue liquid. Thinking to himself of how hot it is today, Tate will down the supposed elixir that a very friendly and kind salesman sold him. Then he'll flick out his knife and open the letter.
It tastes like sweet and spicy, but also there's this like real medicinal flavor to it that it's like when you put a little bit of sugar in some medicine, but you can still taste that medicine. He rips open the envelope. The letter reads, U.S. Department of Justice, U.S. Department of Treasury, Interagency Commission of Preternatural and Metaphysical Phenomena, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, July 6th, 1911. Field Agent Assignment for Tate Clay and Hubert Johnson. Approved by Erman H. Alborn, Franklin Zwarson. Written by Heidi Ripplinger. This document contains restricted materials. Do not distribute or share these documents to unauthorized individuals unless it is reasonably deemed necessary to the goals set by the acting authority. Any violation thereof will result in the immediate termination of acting field agent and prosecution under the law. Restricted. Overview. We've received credible information regarding a string of disappearances in northern Minnesota. An area within the Cuyuna Iron Range called Compass Watch has been host to numerous missing persons reports for nearly 30 years. Within the area is over half a dozen towns, 2 recently active iron mines, and an independent settlement. A pattern has been observed where a person goes missing from one town, then another, over a seemingly deliberate period of time. Currently, it appears to be once every 3 months. When plotted on a map, the culmination of disappearances forms a circle, the center of which is Sierraton, the aforementioned settlement. Reports indicate that Sierraton is an isolated religious community. Their beliefs and doctrines are relatively unknown. According to officials in the area, they pay their taxes, engage in trade with the surrounding towns, and are very defensive of their home. There are also frequent reports of strange phenomena in the area, examples of which will be listed in the additional notes section. With the combination of consistent yet accelerating disappearances focused around an unusual religious community in an area known for unusual phenomena, we believe it to be a valuable expenditure of Commission resources to open an investigation. Assignment. Marshal Hubert Johnson and Agent Tate Clay are to report to Short Tree Falls and begin an investigation into these disappearances with the Commission's objectives in mind. Report to the CPMP office on July 10th at 9:30 a.m. Commission objectives. Investigate reports of preternatural or metaphysical phenomena throughout the United States and its territories. If preternatural or metaphysical phenomena are found, collect all evidence and report to CPMP headquarters. Keep any mention of preternatural or metaphysical phenomena on a need-to-know basis with non-CPMP personnel. Additional notes. The Crow Wing County Sheriff's Department does not believe that there is a wider connection to the missing persons reports and does not have any plans of opening an investigation. It is unlikely that they will be cooperative. Local government and law enforcement have indicated that they'd prefer to leave Sierraton alone and are fearful of any kind of escalation. Our information comes from several sources, chief among them being 2 local newspapers, the Deerwood Enterprise and the Brainerd Dispatch. Several historical documents revealed a particular lack of information on Sierraton. The full size and population of the community is unknown, though estimated to be between 60 to 100 residents. Constructed around the entire community is a tall wooden wall, which is closely guarded. Strange phenomena in the Compass Watch area are a recurring subject, the most apparent one being the instability of compasses in the area, thus the name. Geological surveys conducted by the mining companies found no known cause. Some other examples include frequent sightings of dead birds with no apparent cause of death, a total lack of clouds around the center of the area, the occasional cold wind regardless of the time of year or ambient temperature, spontaneous loss of memories, reports of altered luck wherein an individual may fall into one extreme or the other, an intense feeling of being watched even when alone, glowing eyes in the forest which, when confronted, disappear, a three-legged bear that does not leave tracks. Though there are more, these are a few which were cited by several individuals. These may be nothing more than local legends, but should be verified if possible. Please see Ajaya for equipment and Marshal's Warson before departing. Please dispose of the document upon completion of the investigation.
Tate will jot down in his notebook the basic objectives. Investigate disappearances. And that it looks like we're starting in Short Tree Falls. Is there a map associated with any of this?
Not one in the envelope. All that was in the envelope was this.
Can you find an atlas?
He could go to the library and get a map.
Okay.
Or he could go to the office, like it says, July 10th.
What day is it today?
The 9th.
The 9th.
Tate will burn the orders in his fireplace. Because there's reasons Tate's burning his.
Oh.
That you know about. And
Is it because he has a young man in his home right now named of Cameron?
Yeah, speaking of that, did I ever hear from them?
There was no letters in the mail from them yet. Or ever. Let's just fast forward to you guys getting to the commission.
Oh.
Unless you got to leave like right now.
Tate wants to do a few things before he goes to the commission.
I can get out.
Oh, it's nothing. You're fine. It don't matter.
Okay, what does he want to do?
Tate wants to go try to find and buy a map or atlas of the area.
Okay. He goes to a store that sells that type of stuff. He finds a map of the Midwest, as well as maps more specifically about states and territories, and then some city maps.
So he'll buy a Minnesota map, and then he'll dig through and try to find the Iron Range portion of Minnesota that we're going to.
He's able to find an older one, but it's not detailed, and you notice that it doesn't have any mines listed on it.
Does it have any of the towns? Like, would it have...
It does mention Short Tree Falls. Yeah.
Okay. So he'll get that and a Minnesota map. He also wants to go to the gunsmith.
Okay. Not too far away is a gun store / smith.
Specifically because Tate likes to keep with the times and have newer stuff. He's looking to purchase a 1911.
He goes into the store. It smells like gun oil, cleaner, metal shavings, gunpowder.
My type of place.
You see a guy with a big bushely beard and a shaved head, and he's got some glasses on, and he's tinkering with some, springs and bits and baubles.
I would imagine Tate's been here quite a few times.
Yeah. You're back.
Yeah. You got those new fancy pistols in? The Colts?
That's what I'm playing with one right now. Got a few in back.
Let me run off with one.
Well, yeah. Ain't cheap.
I'm good for it.
All right. Want a few extra magazines?
What do they hold?
Box of ammunition.
8?
7 rounds. 1 in a chamber.
I must have been mistaken. Give me the gun, 3 magazines, and how much come in a box of ammo?
20 rounds. 6 newfangled .45 caliber. Big walloping bullet.
Let me see it. Tate will take one and look it over. Probably 2 boxes then.
Dope. How about 3?
Giving me a discount if I buy more?
Sure. Been in here enough.
Tate
Call it.
will stick out his hand to him.
Call it $18 all around.
This is why I keep coming here. And he
Eh,
goes to shake his hand.
Thank you. Don't forget, oil it up. Keep it clean.
I still have the stuff from last time.
Well, you gotta baby these a bit more, so.
What about a holster?
Well, I think I got something that'll fit it fine.
And he goes over to a rack and pulls one out. It's a shoulder holster.
Oh, fuck yeah. That'll fit underneath his overcloak jacket thing.
Yep. And this guy, he's pretty like round, but he's got some real muscle to him. And his back's a little hunched, but he walks over and throws the shoulder holster on you.
That looks good. That'll make it 19.
So you got yourself a deal.
All right.
You guys exchange the currency.
I have 22 rounds loaded and 38 spare rounds. But he'll probably only throw a box in his pack.
Okay.
So 20 spare rounds.
And then what's he going to do? Do we want to fast forward to you guys getting to the commission?
That's the end of his day.
Okay.
Well, those extra rounds between the 20 and the 18 extra rounds, he's going to take some practice shots somewhere.
Okay. Yeah, you just drive out of town, shoot a couple pop cans. And what does Birdie want to do anything else before we get to the commission?
No.
Okay.
Oh, Birdie's just sick. All right.
The 2 agents wake up July 10th. Get ready. Clay puts on his new shoulder holster, double checks there's a round in the cylinder of his brand new gun. Birdie takes notes on any dreams he might have had. And the 2 agents walk to the commission or drive.
One walks, one drives.
And then we'll pick up next time.
One gets there uncomfortably, and the other one arrives in style.
Hey, everybody. It's your boy, Cody Zenner, coming at you with a return to form. It's been 2 weeks since we last spoke, and I felt every minute of that separation from you guys. I missed you all dearly. And hopefully the feelings, a little mutual among some of you. So we're back. We took a short hiatus to catch up and take some personal time and all that jazz. And you may or may not hear my cat in the background right now because he is, how do the kids say, zooming out. Isn't that right? He does this thing. I don't know if I've mentioned this before. He does this thing where he'll sit right next to my chair and he'll just look up at me like waiting for me to play with him. And if I'm busy, right, like for example, editing the show and whatnot, he'll just pounce on my shoulder or my forearm. It's like not like aggressively, right? He doesn't have his claws out, but he's like, Dad, come play with me. Anyway, who cares? It's my cat Chamberlain. We love Chamberlain. He's a good guy, good little lad. What am I here to talk about? I'm here to talk about news, updates, etc. Universal Origins, the Patreon show, will be coming this month. Potentially later this month. Sadesky is the one primarily working on that. So my understanding is that that should be coming out later this month. So potentially a couple of weeks. I don't have a solid date right now, but once I do, you all will be the first to know. That'll get posted in the Discord and on the Patreon, obviously, because Universal Origins, the D&D show, will be a Patreon exclusive for everybody at the $5 tier and up. People at the $5 tier and up also get access to the bloopers reel and the old Parasol offline. I guess technically that would be like a traditional podcast. Old Parasol offline is just us hanging out after we get done recording. Yeah, we shoot the shit, have a couple more beers. Mistakes Made is the bloopers reel show. And I've said this plenty of times, tons of stuff that gets cut out of these episodes because it's unrelated, it breaks the vibe, the mood, etc. So this episode, for example, I think had like 10 minutes worth of bloopers reels. So all of those will get edited a little bit more and then put onto the Patreon in a tight little compact pill of entertainment. What else? Merch. We have merch. We still have the merch for Apollo's Cradle, for So Let It Be Written, and now for The Blessed Below. So if you want to pick up a Blessed Below long sleeve shirt, those will either, if they're not on the website while you're listening to this, they will be very soon. I just have to throw some things onto the website. And if you haven't ordered your Apollo's Cradle shirt or your So Let It Be Written shirt or the tremendously large coffee mug or your camouflage baseball cap, what are you doing? Go buy your merch if you want. No pressure, okay? But I'm a fan of it personally, and I think a lot of you would be also. So check out the merch, and actually, I'll throw out a thing. If there's anything you guys are looking to see merch of, like, I don't know, old Parasol Productions pens. I don't know what you people buy. I know what I buy. I don't know what you people buy. Let us know. Like, I'm open to suggestions, and I'm happy to give y'all what you're looking for. So if there's something in particular that you guys are interested in, other thing, folks at the $10 tier and up get access to the locked room in the Discord, where once a month we will be hosting an event for everybody. So I went through some ridiculous leaps and bounds to get a Blu-ray player working with my PC. I understand why, it's like some kind of greedy bullshit, but getting a fucking Blu-ray player to work on a PC was so overly convoluted. I need to go off a little bit on this. It's like, motherfucker, just let me put the fucking disc in the Blu-ray player and hit play. Why the fuck do I need 5 different fucking softwares to this software has to unencrypt it, and then this software has to delegitimize the fucking programming, and then this software will actually play it, but the frame rate's going to look like shit if you're trying to play video games on your other monitor. So then you have to go and you have to adjust the fucking frame rate in fucking NVIDIA, and it's like, fucking A, dude, I just want to watch a fucking movie that I own. Holy shit balls. Anyway, I got all that figured out. So now me in the locked room can watch Videodrome or something, whatever you guys want to watch. I have or if you guys just want to play games, I don't know if everybody all has the same games. I don't know, Helldivers 2 would be pretty awesome. I love that game. War Thunder I also play a lot of, but I don't want to encourage anybody else to take up that curse, because while I do love the game, I hate the game. But anyway, we're going to figure that out. And most importantly, I want to shout out all of our beautiful, beautiful, beautiful patrons, because all of you are amazing. And genuinely, I mean, it's really, I don't know what the word would be, humbling. it's really it's something special when you're making something and you never know, like, are people gonna like it? Is this, I hope they do. But you're putting something out into the world, right? And then people are like, hey, we like that stuff. So I truly, genuinely, and from a deep part of my heart want to say thank you to Totoro's Bang Bus, Steak, Paul Davis, Carter Garcia, and D-Dog, for being awesome people that are on the Patreon. And 3 of those people are in the locked room and will be hanging out sometime this month. I reached out to you all, okay? Or I don't know. There's like I made a group chat in the Patreon. I think I'm just going to DM everybody on Discord. That's probably easier. And then we'll figure it out. And that'll be fun. But we have all kinds of other stuff. Oh, and also Chapter 3. This is the beginning of Chapter 3, guys. And when I was writing Chapter 3, I guess I didn't realize how much I was writing. So, yeah, this one's going to be kind of long. And I don't know how long. Obviously, that depends on the players. It depends on Clay and Birdie. And this it's very open. It's very free. They have time, and they're really going to need it to get to the bottom of shit. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I hope you guys enjoy. I know this episode was a little bit shorter. When we were recording it, one of the guys had to, he had something going on. I can't remember what it was, like a birthday party. I think it was like his wife's birthday party. And obviously, when you got to go to that, you got to go to that. And his wife is an awesome lady. And oh yeah, she listens to the show. Hi, hello. You told me you listened to these, and this is going to be my test. If you actually listen to these, you know who you are. I'm going to ask you about this. I'm going to give you a secret code word, and you got to repeat it back to me when I ask you. The code word is Yo Gabba Gabba. All right, lock that in, and that'll be your test. Anyway, sorry, I am rambling hardcore, but I missed you guys. I got to make up for the lost time. But I'll let you go. And we'll talk next week, same time, for episode 2 of The Blessed Below. Have a beautiful week.